4-1 score to the Soviet Central Red Army.
Travel arranged through Northwest Airlines, which proudly introduces the most comfortable plane to the Orient, the state-of-the-art 747-400. Northwest, the most experienced airline across the Pacific.
Jerry, a 3-goal deficit is a lot to make up against any team, much less the Red Army. The Whalers have a hope in this.
I think so, and I think we're looking at the hope, number 30, Golashumov, Rick. He doesn't impress me at all. Maybe I'm crazy, and he didn't have much work after the first 5 minutes. But he sure plays deep in the net, and I think the Whalers should be aware of this. And every time they get the puck inside the blue line, their first spot should be to shoot it on the net and go to the net. Like I said, shots lead to loose pucks in the corners. It leads to forechecking and opportunities. But one thing they can't get caught up in, if they hope to get back in this game, is those fancy passes like maybe the Russians are doing tonight. No reason the Russians are doing it, because the Whalers are standing still.
As we start the second period, it's Vyacheslav Fetisov on defense. He feeds Larionov. Starikov with a pass. Ends up with Nemchinov. He had one of the goals, as you saw that deflection in front of the net to make it 4-1 late in the first period. Fetisov's pass dug away by Tippett, and the play is whistled offside. Fetisov drills Dave Tippett, who didn't take kindly to that. He gives Fetisov a shot. McDermott steps in there, and the officials calm everybody down.
Davey Tippett's a class guy. This is an offside, a late offside. You're going to see it develop right here, as it's one of the Whalers already in. Now that's a fade that's gone. The whistle is gone. Now this is when Fetisov hits Tippett, knocks him down. This is a cheap shot. The whistle went. Now Tippett, he could crank him right here, but he's just going to give him a little shot to say, hey, listen, buddy, you were wrong. And then comes McDermott and Ladouceur. Who knows, maybe in a couple of weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, when we play the Devil, when the Whalers play the Devils, we'll have a shot at Fetisov. I don't think so, though.
Now, that's the big sidebar following the Soviets around on this tour, is the status of Fetisov. He's apparently been given clearance to play by everybody involved except the Army. As the shot is deflected away, Tippett was knocked over in front as he bumped Golashumov on the collision with Starikov. Ladouceur with a shot that's wide. Starikov, 215-pounder, works Tippett out of there, and Fetisov pinned by Paul McDermott, who's had his number pretty much all evening on the physical end of things. Here's Makarov trying to swing it on Ladouceur. Does, waits, feeds it to Kasatonov, and the shot went wide. Makarov passed up a golden opportunity to shoot there.
2 or 3 times. He found his defenseman coming in, and that's who he finally passed it to after being in the garden spot for 3 or 4 seconds.
We get the whistle of the icing call. We've played a minute 17, and it's 4-1 favoring the Red Army.
See Sergei Makarov, the great Soviet player, he's old. He's not even going to shoot there. He's going to get it back to Kasatonov. And look from up here, not only on the replay for the shot that it went in, but it deflected wide.
Here's a shot that sails wide. Kamensky pinned against the boards by Ulf Samuelsson. Jody Hull works the puck to John Anderson. And the Soviets play it back inside the line. Offside. Jerry, we talked about the goaltending situation in the Soviet Union. We'll get to that in just a moment. Tonight's sports fan call question: would you like to see the NHL adopt an automatic ejection penalty for fighting? If your vote is yes, call 1-900-300-6311. If your vote is no, 1-900-300-6312. Each call costs 75 cents, and portion of the proceeds will go to the Armenian Relief Fund. So we invite you to participate in that tonight. Bykov with a shot that's deflected out of play. The name Vladimir Tretiak was synonymous with excellence, and of course he was the great goalie of the Soviet teams in the 70s, but they have not been able to come up with anyone close to match his excellence in net since. What do you think that has been such a problem?
First of all, Rick, I think as we look at the Soviet coach, the guy on the far side, I should point out before he ends this, Boris Mikhailov, number 13 in the great old Soviet team. The least of the skilled players of the Soviet, they'll tell you, he had all the heart. Number 13, Boris Mikhailov, now assisting. I'll get back to that goaltending thing after.
He's assisting Viktor Tikhonov as Golashumov will hang on to the puck.
Like you see Tretiak, I mean, he was obviously the finest goaltender in the Soviet Union. And he was a very conservative type goaltender, big man, something like Terry Sawchuk type crouch and style and all that. And he never wandered from his net. He was something special, as you said. And I think they've based all their goaltenders since Tretiak on him. They have to play like him. And everyone's different. Maybe not in the Soviet Union. But, you know, the little goaltender for Dynamo Riga, Artur Irby, he's a crazy little guy. He falls out, handles the puck and everything. I don't know how he's going to last. 2-1 Soviets.
Delayed penalty upcoming to Torrey Roberts, and the shot, they score! Alexander Chernik drills it home. He just hung on to it all the way down the ice and drilled it by Mike Liut. There will be no power play as the Soviets go up 5-1.
Well, this is a 2-on-1, Rick. We'll see right here. I was yapping away, but Chernik takes the pass coming out of their end. You'll see the Whaler defenseman Babbage. He plays it all right. He forces Chernik to shoot, and this goes right between Michael Liut's legs. He took just a little peek over to his partner over there, and he says, I better shoot this because good chance that Babbage will block the pass. Babbage did play it pretty properly, I thought, except Chernik was a left-handed shot coming down the right side.
And the Soviets love to take advantage of that shooting angle, and Chernik did just that with his first goal of the tour at 2:09 of the second period to make it 5-1. Malikov on the Soviet defense. Filipukin plays it back to Malikov. As the errant pass sails the length of the ice, Planadorst is back. One of an icing called against the Red Army. Red Army leads it 5-1 early here in the second period. Next goal has the Soviets in front by 4. MacIver on that face-off of the Whalers. And it's Konstantinov on the weave, leaves it for Koschekin. His shot is off the blocker of Mike Liut. MacIver throws it ahead. We get a whistle. And Morozov is calling for play to be brought back. I think he thought we had a hand pass going there as Igor Stelnov got the only assist on that Chernik goal.
The referee was kind to the Whalers there. MacIver had closed his hand in the glove and skated maybe 10 or 12 feet. Rather than give him a penalty, he just decided to call it a glove pass.
Larry experimenting with his lineup tonight. As we told you, Kevin Dineen is out. He suffered from a stomach ailment known as Crohn's disease last year, and he's had a mild flare-up of that again. He's on some medication, and they've told him to stay off skates for 3 days. He'll rejoin the Whalers in NHL action Tuesday night in Winnipeg. MacIver is upended by Fetisov. Whalers with Ron Francis, whose weight is down as a result of the flu, and Joel Quenneville, bothered by flu symptoms. Also missing from the game tonight. Sedancote makes the pass ahead for Tommy Martin. He'll angle it across. Brent Peterson. Fetisov back to control that corner. Chibarev cuts away from MacIver. Igor Chibarev. Stick handles through. Cote plays the man well, and Liut forced the puck to Randy on a serve. Peterson starts it in. Pass is stolen by Alexei Gusarov. Konstantinov will just dump it in. Soviets want to complete a line change, and when they do that, it means forwards and defense. The entire unit is replaced. Dave Tippett is on the ice with McDermott and Ferraro. Here's McDermott on the shot, and it's gloved by Golashumov. He'll hang on to it. We've played just over 4 minutes. Here in the second period, it's 5-1. The Red Army in front. Let's pause for a regional break. You're watching the National Hockey League on Sports Channel America.
Kyver, defenseman playing center tonight, is going to get welcomed to the forward lines by a great hip check by Fetisov. Boy, that was a classic.
McDermott to Adam Bird, who had 3 shots on net in the first period, had another one. Ferraro poking at that rebound. It comes loose. Gusarov gets it away from Dave Tippett out to Nemchinev. Adam Bird on the Whaler defense. Big hit by McDermott. That's the 3rd or 4th Soviet he's punched tonight. Kasatonov lugs it into the Whaler zone. Hooks it back in front. Makarov with a shot, and it's blocked by McDermott. Tippett Hooked from behind by Kasatonov. Long drive by McDermott is kicked away by Golashumov. Larionov's clearing attempt stolen. And Bird sends it in wide. John Anderson there to play it. Usara takes control. Gets some stick action between Kasatonov and Ferraro going as the Soviets clear it down the ice. No icing. Jerry, looks like the Whalers want to get a little more physical in this second period. They forced Larionov into a rare mistake there.
Quick, certainly they got to play the body. They got to stay away from, they're keeping the sticks down, obviously, because that'll draw some penalties. But if they get a chance, they got to take the body. Slow the Soviet team down somewhat.
5:15 gone here in the second period. The Red Army in front, 5-1. Vyacheslav Bykov to Homatov. He's got Malikov cutting in. Saved by Liut as he just get a piece of it. Anderson's pass stolen by Homatov. Whaler penalty upcoming. Jody Hall touches the puck, and Morozov signals tripping, and the Whalers will be short-handed for the first power play of the hockey game.
Dave Babbage, he got caught in an awkward position here as the pass was intercepted. You see right here, there's the trip. There's no doubt about that. As Homatov, they would have had a 3-and-1 in there. Babbage had no other thing to do than to trip him. He's shaking his head at it.
So our first look at the Red Army power play that went 1 for 7 against the Penguins in Pittsburgh on Wednesday night. Whalers, of course, near the top in penalty killing efficiency, ranking 3rd at 83.5% shorthanded.
This will certainly be a good test one. You're going to see some good puck movement, good body movement.
Malikov to Kamensky. The shot by Bykov. He scores. Vyacheslav Bykov. Wow, you talk about great passing and great shooting. Bykov made no mistake, and it's 6-1.
That was certainly good puck movement. It was 5 seconds when the puck was dropped. You're going to watch Bykov when he kicks the puck back to the point. He's going to go right into the slot area, and you'll see this great pass right here, and he just tees it up and whips it by Liut. No chance for Mike Liut. 5 seconds. The faceoff was inside the blue line. Here it is again. You see Bykov right to play. Once again, as Dennis Potvin says, Rick, they sure are shooting the puck well, I'll tell you. They got a good batch of sticks in this trip.
John Anderson trying to get one back so that Cote races and shoots a save by Golashumov, who came out a bit out of his crease to stop Cote there. Davidoff gives it to Zelepukin. He's chased by Brian Lawton. It's poked away by Jody Hall. 3 Soviets are back. Hall on the weave. Bumped by Davidoff. They both go flying, and Ladiseur takes it. Leaves it for Hall. Zarakov couldn't sneak it past Anderson. Hall in front. The backhander's just wide. And it's in the equipment of Starikov, and Anderson was poking away at it. Morozov blows the whistle. 13:44 remaining here in the second period. 6-1, the Soviets in front. We pause for a regional break. You're watching the National Hockey League on Sports Channel America. Olympic team last season. Of course, he knows what these Soviets can do as the Whalers trying to get a goal back here. But Young faced them last winter, and he knows some of the pitfalls that you can fall into playing the Soviet Union, and told them about us earlier tonight.
Well, I think playing the Soviets, you're playing the best team in the world, and one of the things they want you to do is play at a speed that you're not used to playing at. They want you to be so excited to play the game that you're playing at a speed you're not used to playing at, and they're used to playing at, and that forces you to make mistakes, and they capitalize on them.
I can't argue with Scott, Rick, because the Whalers have made about 6 mistakes tonight, and it's 6-1. Meanwhile, I was very critical of goaltender Golashumov, and he's made about 3 or 4 good saves tonight in the second period since I was, giving it to him a little bit. Maybe it was a pep talk.
Now the Soviets scored just a few seconds into their first power play opportunity. They get their second one here. Bykov scored from Kamensky and Malikov at 5:39. Bykov with his 4th goal of this 7-game tour. This game 6 tonight. Konstantinov with a drive off the glove of Liut. Kibarov with a pass around for Koschekin. Pavel Koschekin. Out to Gusarov, shooting deflected, save by Liut. Konstantinov got a piece of that drive. Satonov works the point for the Soviets. Pass to the goal now, just past Konstantinov, and it's taken away by Brent Peterson. He and Dave Tippett started back. Tippett gets it on goal, and the Whalers will change up shorthanded. Scott Young comes out. He'll join Peterson in front of Ladouceur and Babbitt. Ariana, drop pass, Makarov. Young forces him as the pass goes to Gusarov. Satonov gave it up to Scott Young, who couldn't clear it away, though. And the Soviets will start at center with 37 seconds remaining on the Ulf Samuelsson call for hooking. Nemchinov drops it back. Satonov. Makarov lurking on that far side, and the pass across to Larionov. He let it go right off the pass, and he missed the net.
It's a pretty good play, and how many times have they tried that? Makarov and Larionov.
And it's 5'9" Sergei Makarov to Larionov. Fetisov is on the power play now with the final few seconds. Fetisov with a shot deflected away. It's swept by Kleinendorf to the blue line. The penalty's over. Larionov, quick pass is deflected away as Nemchinov was looking for Makarov in front of the goal. Babbitt checked by Makarov. Larionov touches the puck and the play is whistled offside.
Rick, watching the great player Sergei Makarov, right? I'm trying to feel who he reminds me of in the National Hockey League, and he's somewhat different. He's got great hands, great quickness, stops on a dime, great intelligence. He's just a great player, and I can't really compare him to any of the, great players in the NHL. Maybe Savard a little bit. I don't know. Maybe the great players aren't compared to anyone else.
And he stands alone at 5'9", 183. Not very big, but as you mentioned, he darts all over the place and kind of an example of the Soviets maybe of years past, whereas now they're going with more size up front. Doesn't look like they've lost any finesse at all with some of these young, bigger forwards that Viktor Tikhonov has in his lineup and are playing in the Soviet National League. Now Martin storms in for a loose puck. He's dumped. Dean Evason flips it in front. Golashumov played it away. Little Bikov at 5'8", 174. His pass is right on the tape to Kamensky. Kote wrestles him off the puck. Dean Evason. Igor Stelnov is back. He's checked by McIver. Martin whirls it out in front. Malikov was in position. Evason tries to chip the goal mouth pass, and it went wide. McIver. Stelnov works it away. Evason doubles it back to McIver into the blue line at Samuelsson. They can't find him, though. Here's Robertson shooting, and it's kicked away by Stelnov. Stelnov dumped by Dean Evason, and the Soviets moving ahead. Kamensky lost the puck at the blue line. The Whalers clear it. Here's Robertson. Ferraro's with him. Ray Ferraro, goal mouth pass. They score! Torrey Robertson deflects it in, and the Whalers trail now 6-2.
As the puck left the Soviet Union, Torrey Robertson just decked number 21, Igor Stelnov. He is saving the back. You can see him at the top of the screen. He's just getting up. He doesn't know where he is. But meanwhile, a great pass by Ferraro, and there's Torrey Robertson as it goes off the crossbar. I do not believe this was in originally. I think it had a hit. Golashumov and go in. But look at 21. He just got to his feet. Let's see if it originally went in. It's going to go off the crossbar. No, it didn't. There it is. That's finally crossed the line. As it went off the crossbar, hit the back of goaltender Golashumov, and it's 6-2. But the ironic part about this, Robertson just decked Igor Stelnov, and the play left the Soviet zone. And you can see at the top of your screen, Stelnov, he was in the twilight zone somewhere going, what's happening? And he got turned around, and Torrey ended up getting up. There he is, just getting up. Stelnov, and he has no idea what's going on. He's hurting a little bit. I don't think he'll be back playing. Look at Torrey. He wants to give another shot right there. I like that one. Oh, they're changing goaltenders now, Rick.
Peter Sidorkovich is warming up as he takes over from Mike Liut at the 10:13 mark of the second period. Liut faced 19 shots and stopped 13 of them in that span. Sidorkovich, of course, a rookie with the Whalers, and what an impressive first half of the regular season he's had here.
It certainly is. He's wearing new pads tonight, those big white pads. To be truthful, I don't like them. They're kind of high in Peter. One of his positives in this first half of the season was the quickness of his legs, and I don't know if he's going to be able to move very quick with these new pads on tonight. But hey, if you got to wear them, you might as well start him tonight. These goals don't count as goals against.
Peter,
no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Peter is Polish-born from Dąbrowa Białystok, and he says his family's more interested in the Soviets facing the Whalers tonight than he is. As we look at Stelnop, and he is indeed hurting.
He is hurting. I thought it was Torrey. I guess it was Dean Evans that drove him one. Looks like he fell on his hip or something. Now he's seeing this play develop, and he's giving it all he's got to get out there. But where's he going? Nowhere. As you see Torrey Robbins on the right side, deflected up and in. I didn't think the original shot went in, but from up here we could see it hit the back of Goloshumov's glove and bounce over the line. That's the first mistake the goaltender's made this period, Rick. And matter of fact, in the 6 or 7 shots he's had, he's been rather solid. Shows you what I know about goaltending.
I don't know about that. Well, Torrey Robertson from Ferraro and Samuelson gets the Whalers on the board at 10:13. And I was saying about Sidorkovich, he and his family emigrated from Poland while Peter was the age of 3. And he says it really doesn't mean anything extra to him to be playing the Soviets, but perhaps his parents would like to see the Whalers trump the Central Red Army. Well, they're going to have to go some to do that tonight as McDermott dumps it in.
Down in the press room. Cabbage rolls tonight.
Here's Kasatonov. 3-on-2 for the Red Army. Kasatonov looking for Chernik. McDermott back to Ferraro. McDermott shoots and it's blocked after the fence. Gusarov takes over. Gets it back from Davidoff. Gusarov looks for Davidoff, and he was hooked away from the pass by Dave Babbitt. Paul McDermott. And Brian Lott with him. McDermott shoots a save by Goloshumovh. McDermott yanked to the ice. The Soviets will be penalized. This will be the first Whaler power play of the game coming up on the penalty to Starikov. Once again, our sports fan call question: would you like to see the National Hockey League adopt an automatic rejection penalty for fighting? If your vote is yes, 1-900-300-6311. If your vote is no, 1-900-300-6312. The cost of the call is 75 cents. A portion of the proceeds will go to the Armenian Relief Fund. That is if you are in favor or not of an automatic ejection penalty from games for fighting.
Well, the Whalers will have a chance on the power play as Starikov did get the hooking call on Paul McDermott, who's been one of the more physical, aggressive Whalers this evening. There we look at Sergei Starikov. Rick, I think a good ploy or a good philosophy or attitude by the Whalers right now is, you know, regardless of what happens for the next 38 minutes, let's try to stop the Soviets from scoring. Maybe we'll get beat 6-2, but let's have a good second half here. You know, we're in a tough division here, the Adams division. Nothing is solidified yet. So let's just make sure we play a good, solid defensive game.
Whalers with Lawton, Home, and Anderson up front of the power play. Young and McIver are the point men. Here's Young to McIver, winds it around to John Anderson. Konstantinov works the puck away. McIver back at center. McIver, who's averaged a point per game, so has Lawton since coming to the Whalers from the New York Rangers on the day after Christmas. The deal for Kerry Wilson. Don Maloney, of course, was also acquired in that trade. He's been out with a broken left clavicle. Cody Hall. A minute and a half remaining on the penalty to Starikov. Anderson. The pass intercepted. The Soviets take over. Sergei Makarov drops it back to Konstantinov. Finish Fetisov. Marianov, the fourth penalty killer, on the ice for the Central Red Army. And Fetisov will take his time and kill some clock. Makarov. Tripped up by Norm McIver, and the great stick-handling talents of the Soviet Union forced the Whalers to take a call as McIver will go to the box, and that will leave each team a man short for 103.
Well, they had Larionov and Makarov on the ice, and these are two talented players, and they were just toying with the Whalers, even though they're a man short. McIver finally takes Makarov to the ice, and the teams will be even. This should be a treat for the next minute and 3 seconds, 4-on-4 with the Soviet. We're going to watch Jody Hall, Rick, and this is one of the problems the Whalers have with him. They don't think he's aggressive enough. Now watch here as Konstantinov goes behind the net, and he is just croaked by Jody Hall. That's what Jody has got to do more if he wants to get more ice time with the Whalers.
Suffering the worst damage was one of our ice-level microphones mounted on the glass behind the net. Gusarov, the team's at even strength. Omaton. Kasatonov shoots a save by Peter Sidorkovich. A rising drive for his first shot from the Red Army. Adam Burt moves it ahead to Wolf Samuelson. Ferraro takes over. Ray with a goal and an assist for the Whalers tonight, trailing 6-2 with 7:12 to go in the second period. Wolf Samuelson handles the puck. It's stolen away by Andrei Holmatov. Samuelson lost his stick. It's flipped back to him by Paul McDermott. Adam Burt chops it away to Ferraro. He's double-teamed. Kasatonov lifts it back. Soviets now on the power play for the third time. We got a whistle for an offside against the Whalers as the penalty to Starikov has expired. Soviets connecting on their first power play chance as we look at Alexei Gusarov.
Rick, the second Soviet power play, the Soviets elected to go with their fourth unit of Konstantinov, Koschekin, and Chibarev, and they're right back on there. I know it's 6-2 and everything. I'm not so sure they'd be on there if it was a 2-2 game. As we look at Koschekin.
He's 20 years old. He's a Winnipeg Jet draft pick, taken in the 10th round of 1988. Like Kamensky, one of the big youngsters in the forward line, goes 6'2", 198. He's out there with Kamensky. Brent Peterson lifts the puck to the point. It's kept on the line by Konstantinov. 35 seconds remaining on the tripping call to Norm McIver. Dave Tippett is bumped by Konstantinov. Chibarev leaves it for Konstantinov. The sticks going between Tippett and Chibarev. Malakoff maneuvers away from Peterson.
Boy, this young Malakoff, Rick, number 7, he's just a youngster. Boy, he's a big, tall, slinky guy. He got some skills.
Time winding down to the Soviet power play. Here's a shot by Malakoff. A save by Sidorkovich. The rebound bounces away to Peterson. Returning is McIver. Starikov takes it for the Soviets. Whalers get a fresh line on. Alexander Chernik with a goal in the second period, dropping it for Davidoff, worked away by Kote. Evison will take on Fetisov, looks for Robertson, backhands it off the stick of Golashumov. The Whalers' secret weapon in this game, Torrey Robertson. Here's a pass deflected in the goal mouth off the Soviet, as Young was the man who put it in front. Fetisov hands it away to Evison. Young with a backhander, deflected wide by Fetisov. Vyacheslav Fetisov will move it ahead. The Soviets come out. Chernik looks for Koschekin, shooting, and he sails it over Sidorkovich's head. Back comes Young. Big drive, saved by Golashumov, and Fetisov there for the rebound. Whalers will start again at center under 5 minutes to go in the second. They trail 6-2.
Hey, Robertson, you know, has been one of the better Whalers tonight. There's no doubt about it. Fetisov and him had a little toe-to-toe down there, eyeball to eyeball, and Fetisov really knew what to do. Torrey did, though.
Nemchinov circles around Kleinendorf, throws it in the goal mouth, and Sidorkovich kicked it out. Here comes Peterson. Martin races into the corner. It's poked away by Kasatonov. Martin loves it ahead, but Gusarov takes over. Spins it out to the 24-year-old Nemchinov. He plays for the Soviet Wings during the regular season in that Soviet National League. So he's really enjoying an opportunity to play in the famed line, KLM line, without Mr. Krutov on left wing tonight.
Okay.
And Peterson works the corner for the Whalers. Slips away from Gusarov. Goldmouth tries, they score! It hit Tommy Martin as he was decked in the net by Larionov. And Morozov, the referee, is waving off the goal. Brent Peterson is arguing.
I don't know what he said there, but you can see by his hand motion he did wave it off. Well, watch how it is. Brent Peterson's going to put the puck in front. How could he not count this? This is awful. This is highway robbery. He should be going to jail. This hit Larionov. So watch number 8, Larionov in front of the net. As he's back, this is robbery.
It looked like it hit Martin's stick or the skate of Larionov.
I think it just hit the goaltender's down. Goloshumov's hurt. I don't know if we can have a look at it. We'll look at it later, but I'm telling you, Rick, let's look at it from another angle. You're going to see number 8, Larionov. He's back with Tommy Martin in front of the net, and this puck clearly hits his left leg. And the worst that could have happened, or the best that could have happened, is the fact that Martin might have deflected it after that with his stick. Never, ever touched Tommy Martin's leg.
Under 4 minutes to go, the Whalers have a goal wiped out. They trail 6-2. We're in the second period.
Off everything off, Rick. The face-off's outside, but this was clearly a goal, no doubt about it. You can't argue with the guy, Morozov. I mean, can't understand you anyway. You probably can. He's just going to ignore you.
Konstantinov works the puck to Kamensky, and he's belted by Samuelson, and the Whalers are going to get a penalty for elbowing, and old Samuelson is furious. Now we've got Kamensky and Anderson with the sticks up right in front of the Whaler bench.
Well, Holt is going to go to the penalty box for an elbow. John Anderson signaling that he was high stick. As big Valery Kaminsky, one of the new big breed we're talking about. Let's watch this go down. Now that's an elbow. Are you kidding? First of all, the elbow never reached the facial area. It was right onto his right shoulder, on Kaminsky's right shoulder. You know what they say, you got to restrain yourself in this game of hockey. No retaliation. I can't say anything else. Very cheap. Well, I guess I'm going to say something else. A very cheap call, and the goal should have counted.
This isn't the first time a call by Mr. Morozov has been questioned over the years that he has worked these international games.
As you said, he travels with the Central Army team, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but he's also in their team picture.
He was on the ice for their practice yesterday, too, over at South Windsor Arena. Here's Bykov, fourth power play for the Soviets. They scored on their first one. Kote bumps Kamensky. So then Kote gets it back, angles it off the boards and down the ice. I don't think Mikhail Gorbachev had this in mind with his perestroika and glasnost plans and openness and friendliness between the two superpowers. Tensions are heating up here. Konstantinov checked by Kote. Kamensky bump by Ladouceur. Peterson has the puck. And he'll force the Soviets back.
Back in '74, Rick, 15 years ago, they had a referee. We used to call him Louis Dombrowski. Remember the guy that had the sweet shop in the Bowery Boys? He looked exactly like him. His name was sort of pronounced that way, but we used to call him Louis Dombrowski. Not many breaks you got.
Davidov lost the handle to Kote, and he'll lift it into the Soviet bench. And on a play with 52 seconds remaining in the Samuelson call, 2:34 remaining in the second period, and the Soviets up by 4.
Look, on this particular power play, the Whalers are doing an excellent job because they're really loading the blue line, forcing the Soviet team to shoot the puck in and chase it. And I don't think the Soviet team is, they're not very practiced at that. I don't think they practice that at all. And this is a good situation for the Whalers if they can succeed in that. The Soviets have not had any time of possession in the end. As you can see, Fedosov, the coach there, taking off saying, explaining the situation to him.
Rather emphatically. Davidov. Chernik is out on that power play with Zelepukin parked out in front. Davidov lets it go, deflected, and Sidorkovich caught up to the changeup. Leaves it for Kleinendorst. Starakov couldn't hold it in. 30 seconds to go on the Whaler penalty. Matissa pounded by Evason. Alexander Chernik with a pass ahead to Davidoff. The return to Chernik. Chernik will go after it himself. He's checked by Evason. Chernik prodded away, and the pass hopped over Starakov's stick. The race is on. Scott Young gets there. He was bumped. Centers out in front, just out of Evason's reach. Chernik has Davidoff with a 2-on-1 penalty over. Davidoff goes across, and Kostikin couldn't get the shot away as it hopped off his stick. Pavel Kostikin. Looks for Davidoff. 1:25 remaining here in the second period, and Fetisov will start again at center.
Davidoff's a third-line player.
Kamensky cuts in. Tripped up, gathers himself. He's blasted by McDermott, and the shot is fired over the net by Kostikin.
Davidoff, a third-line player, is very impressive. He's a talented hockey player. Maybe moving up a couple notches in a year or so.
Came on for them last season with more ice time. Ferrara with a pass through the goal mouth. Giverov gives it to Kostikin. Kasatonov gets rid of it. Samuelson plays the man, drops his stick against Kamensky. Kamensky lowers that shoulder, but his pass is intercepted by Ladouceur. Samuelson going right after Giverov. Ladouceur with 32 seconds to go in the period. Soviet Central Red Army defense will start it ahead. Igor Larionov. The shot that's tipped by Ladouceur, and it lands out of play with 24 seconds to go here in the second period. The Red Army leads it 6-2. Brent Peterson now with McIver and Martin. Old Samuelson's pass reaching Martin. Adam Burt lifts it ahead. Peterson touches it. The play is offside with 14 seconds remaining here in the second period. Jerry, you mentioned before the game we were watching the warm-up, you said they've got more older players on this squad than you remember the Central Red Army usually traveling with.
Well, I was thinking, like Makarov and Larionov and certainly Fetisov, they're up around 30s. And, I was thinking, when you get that age in the Soviet Union, you're usually out in pasture, coaching a club team somewhere. Like, for example, Boris Mikhailov. I think he was an older player retired. He was 33 or 34. They let him play because of his great spiritual leadership, or he was just a tremendous competitor, and when their team played with spirit, it was because of Mikhailov. But funny to see those guys around there at 30, 31.
Now the second period comes to an end, and one of the youngsters in their lineup, Sergei Golashumov, skates to the dressing room. He's in front by the count of 6-2. The shots were 8 apiece in the second period. Our second period scoring summary. Soviets came into the period with a 4-1 lead. They made it 6-1 very shortly as Chernik scored from Igor Stelnov. And then at 5:39, Bykov from Kamensky and Malikov on a power play made it 6-1. Torrey Robertson got one back for the Whalers from Ferraro, and Ulf Samuelsson at 10:13. And 6-2 is where we stand. We'll return you to our Sports Channel studios with Lee Zeidman and Dennis Potvin standing by.